Laser here for KMMPhoto.com. I'm doing a lens comparison today between two very different lenses, but actually something that might save some people a little bit of time. What I have is a Tamron 90mm macro and a Nikon 28-105. One of the things that I'm experiencing now with my wedding shooting is that I'm just carrying too much gear, and I'm trying to eliminate some gear. So I've been carrying around both of these lenses, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reduce it all to one lens, which is this one, the 28-105. So I did just now, I took a couple shots, one with a bunch of shots with the 90mm and a bunch of shots with the 28-105. And here's what I've realized so far. First off, the Tamron will get you in a lot closer to your subject. However, the focusing on the Tamron is much slower than the focusing on the Nikon. To compare them was quite difficult because the Tamron, of course, is 90mm, and it's a 2.8, while the 28-105 obviously goes up to 105. So I zoomed it into 90mm, and one of the things that makes it real difficult is Tamron actually, if you look real closely at the lens, you'll see that the actual glass is recessed into the lens, which allows you to get a little bit closer without worrying about bumping your lens. You actually don't even really need the lens hood because the glass is so far back. But again, the Nikon did focus a little bit faster, actually a lot faster. And in the shots that I took earlier today, that I looked at just briefly, the Nikon shots had a little bit more contrast and a little bit better color. The real nice thing about the Tamron, however, is when you're looking for the autofocus and manual focus switch, the actual focal ring right here is actually the on-off switch to your autofocus. By pulling it out, will get your autofocus. By pulling it in close to you, you'll get your manual focus. And you can see that there's quite a bit of focus distance here that you can achieve with the Tamron. Not nearly as much as the Nikon. So that's where you get the closeness with the Tamron. So I'm going to show you a couple images and give you a little compare and contrast, and let me know what you guys think. Have a great day. See you later.
Alright guys, here are the images from today for the comparison. The first thing I did was I wanted to see how the focal distance compared, the minimal focal distance between the two lenses. So this image that you're looking at right here is the 90mm Tamron macro. So we actually got pretty close and was able to still lock on to focus. And this was as close as I could get the 105 to focus. So obviously the Tamron, you can get much closer for your focal distance. And here are some images. I'll put them up side by side as well. These are pretty much straight actually they are straight out of camera. The only thing that I've done to them is when you import the aperture, it gives it kind of a general setting, but the general setting is the same for all of the photos. So this image right here is the 90mm macro. Oops, I went the wrong way. And let's see which ones. This one is, there it is. So here's the 28-105. Okay, and then here is the 90mm macro. You'll see that it's zoomed in just a little bit, but you can see both shot at 4.5. The exposure was the same. You can see a little bit more detail here from the 28-105, and part of that is probably the zoom a little bit here. It was hard to get both of these lenses to actually have the exact same shot, although I tried to get as close as I can. And I think that the blacks are a little bit better in the Nikon shot, but again, that could just because of the zoom there. Both images I think still work, so not too concerned. Just to give you an example of the difference in magnification, this is the 28-105, and with keeping the tripod in the exact same spot, that's the 90mm Tamron macro. So there is a little bit of a magnification difference. between the two lenses. So the one shot that I think really kind of shows it the best is not that one. It's not that one either. Where is it? These two. So these two are almost exactly the same composition-wise. You'll see that this stick moves a little bit. Here is a shot with the 90mm macro. Okay. And here is the shot with the 28-105. Now the 28-105 here is zoomed in at 105, and here it's 90mm with the macro here. But I think the big difference is the Nikon looks like it has more contrast between the colors. So yeah, I guess that's probably the big difference is the contrast of the colors. This didn't really solve my problem, but it was kind of an interesting thing to test just to see, what each one would do, and just to kind of give you an idea of what they would look like finished product. I'll use this one as kind of my base image, and then we'll just go over to this one. And if I just take my my levels adjustment here, and we'll just slide my blacks over just a little bit. That should make these images almost identical. Just waiting to see my histogram change. I really need to restart this computer because this is taking forever. There we go. Probably move it over just a little bit. So just by adjusting my blacks, you'll see that we should be much closer in terms of contrastiness. And now I've got, there we go. So here is the 28-105, and then there is the 90mm macro. So both images are very, very usable, and I don't really think that I'd prefer one over the other. So interesting little test. If you have any questions or you want to see me compare any other two lenses, or have any ideas for doing some reviews, please don't hesitate to send them my way. I am Kyle Mazer for KMMPhoto.com. See you later.